Hey, thought I'd just do a bit of a walk and talk video. Seen quite a few of these really about, I've heard a lot about agentic AIs and what they mean for the future of software development. And myself as a senior engineer, what it kind of means for me and my future, especially those as well, kind of coming into the industry. I really think it's going to change a lot of things and really make us question our motivations for getting into the industry, and really having to be really mindful, I think, about what the job is going to look like in even I would say as little as 2 years, judging by what I've seen and just the progress we've seen from agentic AI just over the last couple of years. I'm by no means an expert, observed a lot of the discussion and struggles online, particularly with people new coming into the industry. It's not beyond the realms of possibilities. The entry-level jobs are just being, not only are they really hard to get, but I feel they're less needed or in their current guise, simply because LLMs sort of make the role, even if it's not software engineering, but we're basically a junior level for pretty much any knowledge work now. Product managers, finance people, just other corporate functions can find a lot of information and be quite productive with technical tasks, probably to the degree that a junior would be. And so it kind of raises the floor a little bit. So what does that sort of mean for seniors and those who are a bit more experienced? It's not beyond the realms of possibility to imagine that we're just going to all become sort of engineering managers of a team of almost autonomous AIs who do the work. We just tell them where to go. And if you got into software engineering, or you want to get into software engineering because the challenge of making things, it's almost the equivalent of being an artist and sort of using an AI to come up with mass market art. Like, you probably shouldn't get into that if you are into art. The same way now, is software engineering as a profession the best place to do that? You'd probably get more satisfaction and maybe even skill development from just working on your own apps and just working on your own things, because in the corporate world you're not going to be able to exercise that part of you in a way that maybe drew you to the industry. And certainly what drew me to the industry is that now less of our own agency over the code that we write. Of course it was never ours, but when you take out that kind of that thrill of making something and getting instant feedback, sure, you still get that with an LLM. It's code not of your writing. That, I feel, can really lead to burnout if you maybe don't expect it if you're coming into the industry. I think that's probably where it's going to go. We're going to have less and less hands-on agency over the code that we write. I don't think that's the case right now, because we're still maintaining a lot of legacy. But I think in future, a lot of greenfield projects now, I would imagine, or very soon, will be spun up by LLMs. Possibly even started to be iterated on and maintained by LLMs. And it's only really when things start to hit a sort of a ceiling of scale, when we hit that inevitable technical debt, which is a whole other thing, will engineers be needed? Is that the kind of thing that an aspiring engineer straight out of college or uni wants to work on? Because I think that's sort of where it's going to go, and you'll be using LLMs to do that. So if it's the thrill of coding, then I'm not really sure it's a future I want to be around for, which is not something I thought I'd hear myself say. Even as an engineering manager, which I'd like to do, what does that mean? Are we going to be managers of teams of LLMs and just sort of doing code reviews, which sounds like quite a significant overlap there with a senior engineer, but that sounds quite boring. So I don't think it's going to be a highly coveted career in the future of doing what we regard the software engineer to be doing now. It'll become some other thing. There'll be far fewer roles in it, and it won't be anywhere near as creative or thrilling, I don't think, in the way that we've been lucky enough to experience so far. I guess I'm not the best programmer, and I think I got lucky in that I was hired and got into the industry and racked up some years of experience when this wasn't a thing, and I was able to lean on my other skills, around sort of just being personable, you know, having business acumen and just, you know, being likable, I guess, or trying to. And just, I think in future that that will be the differentiator if you want to be successful, I think, or just becoming an engineer. It's becoming high agency on a more social level. So understanding, you know, understanding the product, and actually having the ability to make contacts. Work on those skills. Yes, have something on your GitHub profile that means something you can talk about, just be passionate about, but also just you know, demonstrate your ability to be likable and have an opinion and be high agency, because that's the thing that I think is going to propel the future developer. It's about making connections like it was before. So you'd have to, you know, be good at making those conceptual connections, you know, and actually have a lot more input into the products, you know, understanding what it is we want to build, because the cost of building something, I think, is going to go right down. You will be able to spin something up, and it won't just be software engineers who do that. It will be, you know, potentially products and you know, leadership. All that's to say, if you want to join big tech, right, which I think is going to be, it won't be as easy to get into as what we're already seeing. Maybe the best play, the other option, really, if you are into code and you are entrepreneurial, is to work on your side gig, because we're already seeing, you know, sort of how fickle a lot of companies are. You can put your heart and soul into something. I've seen this happen. You can become the seat of knowledge within a team, within an organisation. And as soon as there's a restructure, or, you know, if you want to be a change agent, or somebody who doesn't like you, you know, you don't have any leverage. But yeah, if you work on your own thing, maybe you can retain some of that satisfaction, that drive that got you into software engineering, which is the other play. But that's my main point, really. You know, just about what, you know, whether or not the future of software engineering as an engineer is really going to be that fun or that interesting. It won't be, you know, it won't be a sort of one of these kind of like a coveted industry, a coveted role. But then also, if you do want to succeed, I think working on the social skills, your ability to make connections, you conceptually talk about products, talk about user experience, understanding those things. That's going to be the thing that will set you apart, for sure. The first one of these, as I said, it's quite enjoyable, and I'm really keen to maybe get some of your thoughts. So yeah, let me know. All right, take care. See you soon.